Please subscribe to Let's Share Solutions and press the bell icon for daily life transforming videos. When you go for an interview, it is very rare that you go for an interview and you give one single round and you are selected or rejected. Usually, most of the times, there are multiple rounds of interviews. In some companies, there are 2 rounds. Some companies, there are 3 rounds. Some companies have 7, 8, 10 rounds. Some companies take few weeks to decide who is the right candidate. In this video, I'd like to share with you a round which is called a telephonic interview round. I've divided this video in 3 parts so that you understand the basics of a telephonic job interview and you also understand how to prepare for it. So first, in the first part, I'll share with you what is a telephonic job interview. And then I would share with you what is the need of an interview over the phone. Why do they do it? And third, we will discuss how to prepare for a telephonic job interview. So let's get started. So first of all, what is a telephonic job interview? As I mentioned earlier, in the job interview process, there are several rounds. In some other video, I'll share various rounds with you. But in this video, let's only stick to this one. So a telephonic job interview is a part of the interview process that is done over the phone. Normally, you sit in front of the interviewer, but in telephonic round, you talk to the interviewer over the phone. Now let's talk why it is required. Why do they need to do an interview over the phone? Mainly, there are 4 reasons for this. First, for shortlisting the candidate before calling for the actual interview. It may happen that a company has a job opening. They don't want hundreds of people to come to their office. So what they will do is, to shortlist the candidate, they will call the candidates over the phone and they will talk to them. So over the phone, they shortlist the candidates. They shortlist out of 100 phone calls, they decide, okay, we will only call these 10 people for the interview. Second reason is, you go for an interview at a consultant's office. So there are consultants, not actually the company that's hiring you, but a consultant's office where you give the interview. So in this case, sometimes it is required for you to talk to a senior in the company before they take the final decision. So this round is basically to verify your credibility after you are selected in that consultant's office. And the third reason is that the job requires a special skill, a special knowledge. So they want an expert to check it. And that expert is not actually someone who takes interviews. So it may happen that you go for a job profile which is technical in nature. You must have some technical knowledge. And the person who is taking your interview, the HR representative, the human resource person sitting in front of you is not technical. So how can that person decide that you have the desired or the required knowledge or skill? So what they will do is they will have a telephonic round with an expert in their company. Some senior, someone in the operations process, someone who is doing the actual job. So that person is not someone who takes interviews. That person is someone with whom you will be working. So that person just over the phone, he or she decides by asking a few questions from you that are you the right candidate or not? Do you have the special skill, the knowledge that is required for this job? And finally, the reason for telephonic job interviews is for jobs in call center industry or a job profile where you'll be talking to the clients over the phone. So they just want to know how you sound over the phone. So that is the reason they have this telephonic round in this kind of job profile. So it was very important for you to know exactly why this telephonic round is conducted. So now let's go to the final part of this video, how to prepare for a telephonic job interview. First of all, prepare just like you prepare for a normal interview. There is nothing different in that. You are the same person. The job profile remains the same. It's just the way the interview is conducted. There's a slight difference in that, and that's what we will learn now. The only difference is that the interviewer cannot see you. So understand how they are judging you. If you understand how they judge you, then only you can give your best. So how are they judging you? First is your voice tone. Now don't shout. Sometimes people shout on phone. They talk louder on phone. You don't want to do that because they may think that this is how you talk. because they can't see you. They don't know that you are acting differently now. So be calm. Don't shout. Don't have your high tone of voice, or don't sound dull. Be natural. That's the key. Be natural. Second is your confidence. How can you show your confidence over the phone? I always say this. Deep breath. Deep breath is very important. So before you give your telephonic round, take some deep breath. Drink a glass of water. Now, don't drink water while you're talking. If you need to, you can. I'm not saying don't do that, but it is always good to drink water before you conduct this round. And when you talk over the phone, make sure you smile. Sometimes we think that if the person is not able to see me, I can have any kind of expression on my face. No, that's not a right thing. If you smile and then you talk, the person can see the smile through your voice. So smile. Even if you don't feel like, smile. And also try to avoid being silent for a long time. Sometimes they may ask you something and you might be thinking about it or whatever. It could be any kind of question. Don't take too long to think. It should never happen that they ask you, hello, are you there? So what you need to do is don't take a lot of time in thinking. If you need time, maybe you are doing something, maybe they've asked you to write something or something like that, which requires time. What you need to do is tell them, just give me a minute. Tell them and then take a minute. Don't just take a minute without telling them. The next thing is rate of speech. Now, what is rate of speech? Rate of speech is the amount of words you speak in a minute. So in India, we have a fast rate of speech as compared to people in the West. So we talk faster. Blah, 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 blah. People outside, they talk a bit slower. So if you talk faster, you may not be clear. And if you talk too slow, you will sound dull or not too confident. So you have to have a moderate rate of speech. You need to check yourself. I'll make another video how to work on your rate of speech. It's a very good topic. The next thing is language and vocabulary. For that, you should watch my videos related to public speaking and vocabulary, especially on my Hindi channel where I post videos for English, spoken English. So you need to have a good vocabulary. So if you have a good vocabulary in that interview round, if you talk 5 or 6 words which are good, that gives a good impression. So make sure you have good vocabulary, good command over the language, on grammar, and this cannot happen in one video. For that, you have to practice. You have to watch videos of other YouTubers who make videos related to communication skills, related to language and English, and just practice. That's the main thing. So this point only comes through practice. The next thing is listening skills. You should make sure that you listen carefully. Avoid saying, pardon, can you please repeat? Avoid saying that. So how can you do that? For that, you have to first of all make sure you have a quiet place when you go for this round. So if you are at home, find a quiet place in your home. If you are in a consultant's office or in the place where you're giving the interview, find a quiet place. You can always ask for a quiet place before this round. So there's nothing wrong in that. So just try to ask for a quiet place. Unless they already have a quiet place, a room specifically for this round. So you can have that. So you have to make sure there should be no disturbance. You don't want to ask the interviewer to repeat. Listen carefully. You may close your eyes and talk, just to avoid any kind of distraction. The next point is voice clarity. You should be understandable. You must hold your phone properly. Avoid talking on speakerphone unless they have some good setup and they have a speakerphone facility where you can talk properly, easily. It's okay. Otherwise, avoid any kind of external disturbance that affects your voice. So use the handheld phone and your voice should be clear. For that, as I've already told you, deep breaths, rate of speech, glass of water, all of these things will help you to be clear. And the last thing is skills and knowledge. Now, this is the last thing, but of course, this is important. Sometimes technical rounds are done on phone with an expert who cannot come for interview. So you must have the necessary knowledge and you should be prepared with the common question answers as taught in my other videos. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching the video and I hope it helped you. With every video I produce, my goal is to increase the level of your happiness, health and wealth. If you like the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also check out my Hindi channel and business channel.